For more, we now go live to Kyiv. We welcome analyst Stanislav Rybachuk from the capital. Stanislav, thank you so much for speaking to us on the day. So Ukraine is saying 25 people were killed in the strike on that train station on Independence Day. Moscow saying just a short while ago 200 Ukrainian soldiers were killed. What reports are you hearing there in Kyiv?
We have the updated report saying that the investigation is over, like the president was saying yesterday. To the final reports, 2 children were killed, one 11-year-old boy that you mentioned, and a 6-year-old girl that was trapped in a car next to the railway station. She couldn't get out and burned alive. Obviously, and we're absolutely used to it, there were no military men around, so personnel, or any kind of military objects. Obviously, Russia wanted to harm the railway itself. They could have said that they are targeting the infrastructure that is delivering the Western weapons. But in practice, as we again see throughout this war, it's just the annihilation of the Ukrainian nation as a whole. So yet again, 4 carriages of a train were just burnt down with people and everyone around it, as well as cars and the buildings, as you can see on the screen. So the final reports are just saying that there are more people killed, 25 versus 22, and a bit less people wounded. It was reported over 50. The final report is saying something around 34.
We are looking at that footage while we are speaking to you. Absolutely horrific. Vladimir Zelensky had made it clear there would be a response to any attack from Moscow on Wednesday, exactly 6 months since the start of the Russian invasion. What is his next move likely to be?
It's very difficult to say, but again, I cannot maybe say unfortunately, but occasionally reporters and just observers all over the world are expecting some kind of, rapid movement, some huge show of force. But Ukraine is not doing that in this war, and hopefully will not continue doing so. What I mean is that they're not sending people just, to show off anything. So all of the military operations are pre-planned and executed whenever the best time comes, whatever the general society thinks of it. So I cannot say that the response would be in 24 hours. Just that's what Russia is doing always. They are showing something immediately. They're trying to, create this kind of date-driven events, something like tied to the Ukrainian Independence Day of yesterday, or some inner Russian festivities. But they're trying to, create a picture, an image of something. Ukraine is trying to win the war, and winning the war means harming your enemy to the stance where they cannot fight anymore. So that blow or fight or whatever it is that is planned will be executed, such as everything else, like the destruction of bridges, like the destruction of the supplies of the Russian army, kind of thoughtfully and not rushed just because Vladimir Putin wanted to show us something. We are kind of fed up listening to him by this time.
Talking about what Vladimir Putin wants to show, we are hearing just a short while ago he signed a decree to increase the number of Russian armed forces by 150,000. Now that takes the total to more than 2 million. How much of a game changer is that on the ground?
In numbers, it feels like it's desperate. It feels like that's a lot. But in practice, you should probably know by now that Russia is trying to build up their military force for the last 4 months at least, every day since they've kind of lost the blitzkrieg that they were actually planning. So there was no plan B out of everything that we can see. Even plan A was not even a plan. It was just more of a let's take it by ord, let's just invade from everywhere. They will run, they will be scared, and so on. That was all of the plan that we can see until now, at least. So adding those 150,000, who will they be? How much training will they get? Because up to now, Russia over the last maybe 2 months, they managed to pull something like 20,000 people to Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. And most of them had the training of 4 to 7 days, compared to 3 to 4 months, which are usually needed. First of all, to equip individual soldiers for them to have any kind of actual knowledge. And secondly, to blunt them all together as a unit, to make them, learn how to actually behave on the battlefield. So those people that are rushing to the front lines are ill-equipped, ill-trained, ill-motivated, and if we'll see another 100,000, which I don't really think will happen, given that Russia is trying to mobilize people for the last, again, couple of months. And you've probably, again, saw the reports of the fires all over Russia, of the military bases on fire, just because people don't want to go to the war they don't understand. So yet again, the number is kind of big. And if those would be those initial soldiers that came to Ukraine on the day one, that would be a problem. Some kind of dudes with weapons, with sticks, I don't think that there will be a big harm for Ukrainian armed forces.
Stanislav Rybachuk, as always, appreciate your insights live from Kyiv. Be safe. Thank you.